What's going on, everybody? It is Ian here with Miller Garage, and today I'm actually working on our family vehicle. So I haven't officially introduced it in the channel yet, but this is our 2018 Chevy Express 3500 15-passenger van. Because whenever you have 5 kids, a minivan just isn't going to do it. We actually had to take it into the shop recently, and it's funny. We got an Expedition as a loaner car, which is obviously a very large vehicle, and it was definitely way too small for our family. Within, I think, 5 minutes of driving, the boys were already fighting and hitting each other in the back because they had to sit 3 wide, and there was no space in the hatch or any of that. So we are obviously glad to have this back, but. Today I am actually doing some modifications and some cool stuff to it to kind of get rid of that denim skirt homeschool vibe that these vans, often get. The thing is, this is actually on a truck chassis, and so you can actually do quite a bit and make them pretty cool. So, eventually down the road, there's a lot of stuff that I would like to do to it, but for right now, is what I'm going to be doing is I already got some new wheels and tires, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But with those, they're bigger than stock, and so we had some clearance issues, and it's kind of rubbing in some spots, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But to solve that problem, and I was planning on doing this anyway, but I wasn't sure how far down the road. But to solve that problem, I am putting in these front leveling spacers. So this is basically a 2-inch lift. So that brings the front up 2 inches, and it actually levels it out because these things have a bit of a rake to begin with. So this is what I'm going to be working on today, and then we're going to put the wheels and tires back on and kind of show you guys, because I think it looks friggin' epic with this setup. So I'm excited to get these in there and give it a little bit more aggressive stance. Okay, so you can see here where it was rubbing, there's the body mount here that it's kind of hitting on, and then just the actual inner fender well. And I've already, I used a hammer to kind of knock that in a little bit, and that helped some. And I did cut this out some, but it's still hitting quite a bit. And to be honest, the tire size we went with it's like a, let me actually look real quick. So the tires are a 275/60 on a 20-inch wheel, so they are very, very big. It ends up being close to a 33-inch tire, and the run out on a stock tire is 31 inches, so we're actually adding 2 inches, and it's definitely bigger than what's intended from the factory. But between the lift spacer and then doing a little bit more clearancing, I think I'll be good. The only other thing is there's this trim piece right here, and I basically am going to need to do one of two things. Either cut it to be flush with this, and I may do like some fiberglass on it to kind of make like almost like a lip fender flare right in here to prevent some of the mud, as you can see, that gets kicked up with those big tires. That might help a little bit, but they also, the same company that I got the wheel spacers from makes a replacement piece that's a lot thinner over here. So one of the two, they were out of stock, but also wanted to say I got these from WeldTech Designs. They're out of California, and they do pretty much exclusively like all these big vans and stuff. And these are a really nice, just billet milled piece that is very high quality. And it was about $300 for the set. So not the cheapest thing, but it is quite high quality. So I'm gonna get started. We, obviously have to tear apart the front suspension. We got to get the spring out of there because it actually sits in the spring perch and is what creates that additional spacing. So I basically have to disconnect all the brake lines, sway bar, tie rod, and then take the spindle off and let the whole thing come down, and we'll get the spring out, and then I have spring compressors to get it back up in there and everything. So I'm gonna get rolling on that. Of course. Motherfucker. That really hurt. Just smashed my finger a little bit there. Did not feel good. I got everything disconnected except for the upper ball joint, and I need to put the jack up underneath it before I do that. Otherwise, this thing will kind of shoot out of there. Actually, take that back. I need to disconnect the shock. That's the other thing. I need to pull that out. So I'm going to do that first, and then I can take the ball joint off. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, now I'm going to get the jack up underneath it, and then we'll disconnect that last thing and get this thing going. I really like this Milwaukee stubby impact. I can get it into tight spots and, you know, areas that a normal impact wouldn't be able to fit into. And it is surprisingly powerful as well. Get in there.
One eternity later.
There it goes. Okay, so we got the spring compressed, put a little bit more on it, and then basically the spacer just goes in like that on top of the spring, and we stick it back up in there. Yay! One in. Thank
I'm Gypsy.
you. Yes,
You understand?
exactly. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. All right. So I got it back together now. And these are the new wheels and tires. So I went with, actually it's the same wheels that I put on the Opus coffee shop Airstream. They're the Fuel Beast wheels. These are actually the 20-inch now, and so they're obviously bigger. And running the same Toyo AT, and these are the AT3 open country tires. And it's a 275/60 R20, so like I said, a lot bigger. As you saw, this side fought quite a bit, and I actually made the rookie mistake of not fully disconnecting the ABS speed sensor harness, and so it definitely like broke the wire inside that, so I have to get a new one of those. Unfortunately, the other side I unclipped and everything was good, so for shame. So I'm gonna get it back down on the ground and see the difference that it made. I'm pretty excited. Definitely looks taller. Dang! Yeah, that definitely made a good difference. I'm excited. That looks way better. So, next thing I need to do is take it out for a drive and make sure it doesn't rub anymore. I don't think it will. I mean, looking at it, I think we're good. So, here's hoping. So, I'm gonna take it for a spin and we shall see. So I think it looks pretty friggin' sick. Huge improvement over the, homeschool white van that it was before. Now it is an off-road beast. Well, not quite. I still need to do the 4x4 system and coilovers with a 5-inch lift and the rock bars and a roof rack and bumpers, but that's about $30,000, which is more than the van actually cost in the first place. But I'm really happy with these improvements, and to be honest, I think that this would look really cool on like a van RV build. So if that is something that you are interested in, I'm all for it, because you can totally pull all the seats out and convert these to kind of like a smaller van RV thing, kind of like like they have the Transits and the Sprinter vans, and this would be kind of a smaller version of that. So that would be a really fun project, something that you could make really cool, take anywhere, and really have kind of like a boondock off-road adventure vehicle that would be really sick. So that may be something that this becomes more in the future. I kind of joke, but I ultimately do want to do the 4x4 setup. Maybe not quite the extreme suspension, but we'll see. Who knows? Let's see how this channel does. But that is it for today. I am now doing this full-time. Miller Garage is now my primary source of income, my main job, doing this, and absolutely loving it so far. I am a few days in, and it is great to be, now dedicating all my time to this. So really appreciate everybody's support. Like the channel, follow us on social media, tell all your friends. If you're interested in having me work on your Airstream or doing something like a van conversion or anything, RV adventure vehicle 4x4 related, then hit us up. Email is below in the description, and we will see you next time.